A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Tuesday edition of the show. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Well, of course, on the show tonight, we'll take a look at the UEFA Champions League. We'll talk about the fallout of the VAR controversy from the English Premier League last night. And Postecoglou will be sharing his thoughts. Mikel Arteta is also doubling down on the comments he made. He's making no apologies and sticking to what he has said about refereeing in the English Premier League. We'll also take a look at the Nigeria Premier Football League, and we look at, of course, what's going on right about now in the UEFA Champions League. And again, we will be having a conversation around the Nigerian National League. We have somebody that you would love to listen to. He's waiting in the wings. I won't introduce him just yet. That's the outlook of the show. As you already know, it's a two-man show. My colleague, Austin Okonakpan, is suited and ready. And of course, we're taking you on a trip across the money-spinning world of sports. Austin, it's good to take this ride with you again today.
What a greetings to you, and of course, everyone joining us on the show tonight. Still an action-packed world of sports, and somehow, Yemi, the video assistant referee was like, wait a minute, it's a new season, and no one is talking about me yet, and then decided to, show up this weekend to give us so much talking points. Postecoglou, Mikel Arteta, they're not happy. They're saying, look, this VAR, you have done more damage than good to football. Tough, because somehow if you take a look at it, yes, people will come out to say these guys are just sounding, bitter because they lost, but it's actually painful, when the decisions look harsh on you. But it is what it is. The show must go on. The English Premier League, still arguably one of the best leagues in the world. And what is league football without these controversies, So I'm sure they will find a way to fix it, but we're here to just talk about it. I'll do just that on the show tonight. I love the fact that we'll also talk about the Nigerian Premier Football League and the Nigerian National League. We tried to have that conversation last week. It didn't happen. It will definitely go down tonight, and I'm sure our viewers will have so much fun doing that one with us. Sports Tonight on Channels Television. If you're ready, I'm ready. I'm sure you are. So let's go.
Yes, of course, I am ready. We're going to have that conversation. But first, let's get this out of the way. Let's introduce our guest in the Lagos studio. Kehinde Idris joins us now as we take a look at everything happening in the fast-paced, money-spinning world of sports. Kehinde, greetings to you. Thanks for joining us on the show tonight.
It's good to be here, Yemi. It's good to also have, like you said, Austin has suited and ready. And it feels good to, go on this ride ever ready to go into the world of sports. You mentioned controversy in and around the EPL.
No, let's just calm down.
Yes, I just wanted to put a line. Somebody called me after some game, said, nobody should criticize the NPFL again. If this much is happening with European League, then the NPFL is perfect.
Okay. All right. I also talked about it. So let's just go straight into it. We wanted to do it last week. We couldn't, but we're going to do it now. So let's just quickly hook up to our guest was seated and waiting, Emmanuel Atta, the CEO of the Nigeria National League. He joins us from Abuja studio. Greetings to you, sir. Thanks for joining us on the show tonight.
Good evening, Yemi. Thank you.
All right, let me throw the first ball. My colleague Austin Okonakpan is waiting in the wings, but let me set the ball rolling. First, let me say congratulations. We've wanted to do this for a while, but it has happened now, and of course, we're happy to have you with us. And so, let me just dive straight into it. Anybody will ask, now you are in the saddle, what kind of innovations should we be expecting?
Well, Nigerians should be expecting a brand new National League competition. When this ball was inaugurated in July, we are all determined to change the narrative of what the NNL is. And if you will recall, we tag ourselves as the most important league in the country, and we want to see it as such. We are going to bring in lots of innovations. Of course, we started already recently in Ikenne, Ogun State. For the first time ever, we organized a coaches seminar for all NNL coaches. And top coaches in Nigeria and outside the country were there to update our coaches on the modern techniques. And these coaches will go on to impart what they have learned in their respective clubs and thereby raising the standard of the game. We are also going to be very, very strict on our officiating. It is not going to be business as usual. All matches will be strictly monitored. Teams will win on merit. So any team thinking that it will win a match through the back door, you forget it. We are also working seriously on the sponsorship, which has been a big problem for the second-tier league. But I must tell you, we have gone far. A lot is being done. And very soon, Nigerians will see what we have done in terms of sponsorship.
All right. Okay.
We are also taking players' welfare and security very, very seriously.
Okay.
This time around, we compare clubs that they must present the medical certificate of each of their players before they are registered. Furthermore, we have also told the clubs that they must have a fully kitted first aid box, including an oxygen. If they don't have this, well, I don't think they are ready to participate in the league. And the clubs are quite aware of this. They've been very cooperative. What I want to assure here, what we are determined to do in this league is to ensure equity, justice, and fair play. We want the best for the league. It's a league that consists of very, very young players. And our dream is to have the bulk of the Super Eagles player in the very near future from the NNL.
All right. That's, I mean, lofty dreams, good ideas. And I don't mean to sound sarcastic, but I've heard this many times in the past. And anybody would say, why would this be different? I also want to add, you've talked about, I would have asked you a question around the terrain, but you have listed out all the things that are, the challenges when we're looking at the National League. But my question is, how do you ensure compliance? You said, okay, if you're not ready to follow, it means you're not ready. Will the NNL be strict? Will the hammer fall? All of these things you've mentioned, if we begin to see our clubs flouting it, if we begin to see standards not met, I mean, what are the things that will happen when we find ourselves in that kind of situation?
Okay, Yemi, first of all, you don't have to be sarcastic about these present league board members. If you look at the category of members in this league, the caliber of men in this league, they are all responsible, experienced sports administrators. You have the chairman, George Allo. You have Dotun, a top businessman. You have the FA chairman of Gombe. You have Alhaji Metankare, one-time governorship aspirant. So we are not just there to be there. We want to change the narrative of this league, and we are determined. And I've earlier said that we are going to ensure compliance by monitoring every match. Every match. Very soon, I think within the next 24 hours, the list of stadiums approved for matches to be played in will be made open. You will be shocked. We ensure that only stadiums that meet our expectations were approved. And the clubs also can bear us witness. When we postponed the league by 1 week, it pained us because we actually wanted to start the league on that 28th. But because of appeals, and we gave the teams deadline of last Friday, and that's why we fixed the date for the commencement of the league on the 11th, with the opening match in Nasarawa. That is the star match, Nasarawa State, between Nasarawa United and Zamfara United. And we have told the clubs, and I believe they must have compiled by the time I came to this studio, if they don't complete their club licenses by tomorrow, Wednesday latest, they should consider themselves out of the NNL. And we are determined to ensure compliance to these directives. So if the clubs are listening to us, they should know that it's not going to be business as usual. We'll give them every necessary assistance while we also solicit their cooperation to make this year's league very, very interesting. And Yemi, I want to invite you on to Nasarawa State. You will see football at its best on the 11th. You will see a grand opening ceremony. We had a test run sometime in September in Kano, in August in Kano, for the relegation playoff. For the first time in Nigerian football, no team complained of any poor officiating. Those teams that lost said they deserve to lose. Those that remained in the league knew that they deserve it. It was amazing. So we knew what we did, and this is what we intend to continue when the league proper starts. We are determined to succeed, and by the grace of God, we will succeed and make everybody proud. We want the Nigerian National League to be the focus. And one other important thing, as part of ensuring fair officiating, all our matches will be live screened. It will be viewed even internationally because we have entered a tripartite agreement with a local transmitting company, DBT, and also an international transmitting company.
Good to have you with us. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
Thank you, Austin. How are you doing? Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for making our time to be with us on the show tonight. And congratulations to the NNL.
It's my pleasure.
Having a date to even start in itself is a good one. And now I would just hope that that date, nothing happens to it. We'll see the best of second-tier football in Nigeria. And I love the fact that you've made standards, and you have targets. You've said that you want to make the league viable so sponsorship can come in. You've also said that you want players from the NNL to be called to the Super Eagles. That's good. And I join my colleague to share some cynicism because over the years we've heard all of these things. What will the NNL do as regards financial regulations? Because we know that there are teams in the NNL that are not financially buoyant, and then they come there and they struggle to keep with the standards. If we have only 10 teams that can go on to execute matches, will we go on, or you bring the same number of teams everywhere, and then we get the same results?
Thank you, Austin. Thank you, Mr. Austin, on that financial regulation. We are on that. It will interest you to know that we have engaged a financial consultant. We are taking it gradually. Who will educate these clubs on finances? You are right. Most clubs, they don't want people to know their finances, but by the grace of God, next season, we just discussed it today with the Chief Operating Officer, that these clubs, they must have a target. We must know what their finances are before they are registered. You can't just come and play in the league without a strong financial backing. However, they will be educated. It's a gradual process, but we'll get there.
Okay, I agree. It's a gradual process, but we need to do the right things for leagues, for clubs to play in a professional league. They must have good financial standing, and that's been a major problem of the NNL. It's another major problem of the Nigerian National League is security. Mr. Emmanuel Atta, I've covered the NNL when I was in Lagos, and there were times I had to run. You will see people running, and they say fans are angry. Referees are also scared of their lives, so when they go to games, they are looking left, right, and center because they get threats every day till that match is played. Now, I know you come and say, oh, we've put security in place and all of that. Let's take the English Premier League, for instance. Some coaches are angry at the decision made over the weekend with the video assistant referee. But I'm in England. I've not heard one referee come out to say my life is at risk. Fans attacked me, they beat me up, and all of that. What will the NNL do to ensure proper security, not just at the match venue, but for match officials and even spectators that will come out to watch?
Thank you. On security, we have written to the clubs, we have educated them that we have zero tolerance for any act of violence. Any club that goes against the rules and regulations which lead to violence and abrupt end of any match or attack on referees will be heavily sanctioned, and we mean it. We are in collaboration with the security agencies, the police, the civil defense, local vigilante, and others, stadium security, to ensure that there is adequate security in all our stadiums where NNL matches will be played. I want to assure our fans, spectators, and other football stakeholders that they will enjoy the best of NNL this season. Their security will be guaranteed. We will not toy with it. Already during our AGM annual general meeting, and also in circulars written to the club, we have told them the minimum number of security personnel that will be in the stadium. And any team, I repeat, any team that perpetuates violence or attack any match official, I'm sorry to say, maybe my words might be too strong, that team will not find it easy. It will be heavy sanction so that it will serve as deterrent to others. We have zero tolerance for any act of violence. And I want to believe, and I strongly believe, that our club officials in the NNL are very responsible people. We believe in them, and we know they will give us all the cooperation. One interesting thing that happened, which will also help checkmate any act of violence, was discussed in the last coaches workshop that was held in Ikenne, Ogun State. All the coaches came out to resolve that henceforth, after every match, the coaches of both sides should meet each other, shake hands, hug themselves, and after the game, entertain themselves, just like what is done in the English League. And I can tell you, when these spectators see coaches or a coach who has lost a match going to meet his opponent to shake hands and hug him, they will all calm down, because we told them that usually it's the reaction of the bench that usually leads to violence. Football is fair play, but we strongly believe that officiating this season will be wonderful.
I hope so, and I really do hope that the coaches will see reasons to shake hands, hug themselves, and understand that the game is actually fair play. Emmanuel Atta, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. Best wishes to you and your team as you get ready for the new season. The Nigeria National League is a very important league for the development of league football in Nigeria. That's because this is where teams gain promotion to the top tier. So you have a lot of work to do, and I want to wish you all the best as you get on with that job. Thank you so much for coming. All right, so that's it. The Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National League, Mr. Emmanuel Atta, speaking to us from our Abuja studio on the new season of the NNL. Let's go on this quick break now. Sports Tonight on your award-winning sports-loving channels television. When we come back, we will talk about the big boys in the Nigeria Premier Football League, the Savannah Derby between Gombe United and Doma United. Really got us talking over the weekend. We will talk about it. Don't go anywhere.
All right, welcome back. Before we move on quickly, let me give you a minute. You listen to the CEO of the NNL, lofty ideas, good intentions, but then again, we've been here before.
Yeah, we've been here before, and that raises a lot of skepticism, thinking the maybe thinkings, the uncertainties around. But like you said, very lofty. I had to do a lot of jotting while I was talking because I was thoroughly touched. Not like I've not heard it, but as human, I live in today, I live in now, and I'm enjoying the fact that I'm hearing this from the top administrator, and I'm hoping by some chance it comes together, it comes to fruition, and I would be happy, for that. And, we call it the most important league. This is how I describe it. It's the league that can be described, in the case of God. It's the only league that takes and also gives. It takes from the, NPFL and gives to the NPFL.
If you look at it that way.
It's as very important. We need to do so much for that.
All right. Okay, let's move on the show and quickly take a look at the Nigeria Premier League, the results, match day 7. Let's give that to our viewers. I'll just go up to the screen and talk about it. All the results, I'm very sure you're going to be seeing it even as I move across to the screen to look at it. All right, so here we go. Bayelsa United lost at home to Lobby Stars 2-1. Sporting Lagos beat Kano Pillars. Topsy-turvy for Kano Pillars these days. 3-0. Abia Warriors were able to defeat Katsina United 2-1. For Aqua United and Plateau United, it was a game we talked about last week, but it didn't produce any goal. All right, the Bini Arsenal, that's Bennett Insurance, had a slim 1-0 victory over Remo Stars. Still talking about matchday 7 results. Enugu Rangers, the Flying Antelopes, defeated the Nazi Millionaires, second by Heartland 2-0. The Aba Elephants, that's Eimba, had a 1-0 victory over, well, of course, they call themselves the Akure Gun and Sunshine Stars. Shooting Stars hammered Niger Tornadoes 4-1. And, of course, Doma United had 3 goals past Gombe United. Then this is the rescheduled match that will be played. Doma United up against Bendel Insurance. Let me just quickly go to Austin quickly. I remember last week we had this conversation. I don't know if you agreed, but I thought the game that involved Aqua United, was the main game. But somehow didn't produce any goals.
At each other, very competitive whenever they meet. But I was hoping Aqua United, will do just enough to, keep their momentum going right after recording their first win of the season. But it didn't happen, And I'm sure they will go back and ask themselves questions. Now, Plateau United, in the last 3 seasons, I repeat, they've shown that they can actually compete properly in the Nigeria Premier Football League. No disrespect to that team, and I think they've played as a unit, and I think they keep getting better every season. So with Aqua United worrying form at the moment, any team meeting Aqua United will just want to do something good with that fixture before Aqua United, slap themselves back to reality. I hope they won't wait till match day 10. This is 7 now, and they're still left with 1 win. Fatai Osho and his team, they must really be looking for a way out of it. But we should celebrate good things in the league when they happen. Because what critics throw at me all the time, even before I left Nigeria, Austin, no away win. Austin, only your teams win in the NPFL. That's not true. So when teams travel and go to a different venue and win in the Nigeria Premier Football League, and we glorify it, people will now come and say, are they not supposed to win, to have away wins? No, it's difficult in the NPFL because it is really competitive. Take this game, for instance. In all of its glory, the game you're watching between Gombe United and Doma United, Gombe United was the home team. Yes, both of them, they play at the Pantami Stadium in Gombe. But Gombe United was the home team. Gombe United is a respected team. Gombe United is a team that is known in the NPFL. Doma United, they still have shaky feet. They're trying to find their way. And they won this game by 3-0. Not only did they win, look at the crowd. That 12,000-seater stadium in Gombe was filled to capacity. Look at the crowd. This is what we are telling our administrators. If there's good football on display, if there's proper security, if logistics is top-notch, if players' welfare are sorted, if referees are protected, people will come out to watch football, and it will be for the good of league football in Nigeria. So shout out to Gombe United and Doma United. Yemi and Kende Idris. I'm just wondering what would have happened if it's a team a team playing at home from another region gets to lose 3-0 right there. We'll come here today and be talking about fans' trouble and fans' encroachment and referees being threatened, but that's not the case in this fixture, and that's why I want to give flowers to Gombe United and Doma United and every single fan that came out to show the world that football in Nigeria is developing, and we can get better if we do the right things, Yemi.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need to study what makes the fans come out in the northern part of Nigeria. I mean, this is what you get. This is what you get. My only worry would be, were they able to get revenue from this? I mean, just looking at the pictures, this is a very good advertisement for the Nigerian League. But Kende Idris, your thoughts on the game before we come to Sporting Lagos? I know you're very eager to talk about Sporting Lagos, but I'm just captivated by the fans.
Yeah. I think, luckily for me, I've spent quite a number of years in the north, Kano, Kaduna, where Nasarawa, Gombe, Bauchi. There is nothing in between them and their football. Yes, they love sport, but now we're discussing football. There is nothing in between. Put a price tag, hike the price tag, whatever. They want to see their football. As much as they love foreign football and all of that, they love their own. They can mention all of their players. When I was in Bauchi, Wiki Tourist, every young boy can mention every player in Wiki Tourist. Go to Gombe. Every young boy who is playing football can mention every footballer that is playing for Gombe because they're aspiring to be like that person. And that is where the dream comes from. In, Kaduna, you will see them, the ranchers and all of that, they follow day-to-day activities. And that is why they come out to see. It feels like their day is fulfilled, their week is done the moment they watch their team. Whether win or lose, the fact that they are able to watch, pays them. That's why in Lagos, whenever Kano Pillars play, you see the turnout. Whenever you see, one of these northern teams play, you will see the northerners come out because they are far from home. Now this is a connect for them. Yes, I am back watching my team, even if I'm not in Kano, even if I'm not in Bauchi or in Gombe, and that's fantastic. You see the crowd. If we can monetize that, I think the big money will start coming from the north.
Okay, let's flip.
I want to talk about a particular game.
Okay. Insurance
versus Remo. When they were both in the NNL, this was a fixture to see every day. It comes with everything. Good football on the pitch and so many other things. Drama. It comes with a lot of drama. And I was looking forward to this. And trust me, it gave us that drama. The only thing they left the whole, funnies. It was good football.
Just football.
Just football, good result, and everybody shook hands, and it was fantastic. I wanted to see it, and I saw what I wanted to see in that game. All other games, Doma United. Doma started this last season, and I think if they continue this way, not only will they stay in the league, they will stay and compete favorably, with time.
All right, before we yield back to Austin, the game in Lagos.
Yeah.
I don't know what will happen to Lagos fans if we don't have a team in Lagos.
I don't know.
And they are enjoying every moment.
Yeah.
And Sporting Lagos also giving them the reason, to come out.
Yeah.
Even though the stands are not filled, we have to say that.
It starts from somewhere. And if you're at a point where people hardly turn out for whatever, this time football, there must be something added to what is on ground for you to invite them. And that is what sports. I'm talking about the management now. That they are adding a little bit of paparazzi fanfare, to match day for people to come. Now, results like this 3-0 against Kano Pillars. Trust me, Yemi, next game at home, Sporting Lagos will have more fans than what they had the last time because news will filter. Sporting Lagos beats Kano Pillars at MJA 3-0. Wouldn't you love to see the next one? Because they might score 4, and you wouldn't want to be told the story. And I think it starts from here, and good result, draws people to the stadium. And for Lagos, everything that brings our football, we love it, we enjoy it.
All right. Okay, so I guess we're done with the Nigeria Premier League. Getting used to calling it Premier League now. Premier Football League. All right. I hope my tongue won't get tight. Premier Football League. All right. Also, let's to you now. The English Premier League. I don't know where to start. So much drama, and I'm trying to hold back. As much as I love the Gunners, a lot of people gave Mikel Arteta some receipts. I mean, when it was going your way or when it didn't affect you, let's live with it. But the moment it was against him, and I mean, he started saying, even Ange Postecoglou, a man you would think very cool, never loses his cool, got a yellow card, and he went guns blazing when he went for that interview. I want to ask your opinion. Postecoglou says he's not actually blaming VAR. He's saying the reactions of managers is making referees question their decisions. And now we're going to see referees spend 4 minutes, 3 minutes. We're turning football to cricket, and it's becoming a problem.
Mind-boggling, the things that happened just between Saturday, Sunday, and yesterday, they're just mind-boggling, because if you check Arsenal and the way they lost, they were unbeaten, and that game against Newcastle just raised loads of questions. And we're trying to just understand those questions that happened in that game between Newcastle and Arsenal, and then find answers. Then came Chelsea and Tottenham. And football just has a way of just arranging these things, because I'm just wondering if that wasn't a London derby, let's say that happened to Tottenham when they were playing Manchester United or Manchester City, I'm sure we'll be getting a different reaction by now. Tottenham also unbeaten. And then what happened against Chelsea just happened. And from nowhere, things just started going wrong. Things started falling apart. And now Postecoglou, there's nothing you tell him. Again, it goes to tell us that these coaches are humans. It goes to tell us again that people still have emotions, because it's painful. With all the good things that I've said about Tottenham, that was harsh. They didn't deserve to fall the way they did against Chelsea. But my line, football will happen to you, And just like Murphy's Law, anything that wants to go wrong, will go wrong at the worst possible time. That's what happened to Arsenal and Tottenham. So we must try to be in the middle as media persons, to say to these guys, calm down. When it goes well for you, you need to understand that it can also go wrong for you. So Mikel Arteta has every reason to make those statements that he made. Postecoglou has got more than enough reasons to make the statements that he made about officiating, about his other coaches, and even the video assistant referee. You can't blame him. But you know what? They are role models. So we need to tell them to calm down and control their emotions and still do it for the love of the game. Let's listen to Postecoglou on the show tonight.
Look, I've said it before. I don't like it. I don't like the standing around. I don't like the whole sort of theatre around, waiting for decisions. But I know that I'm in the wilderness of that. I'm kind of on my own. That in my 26 years, I was always prepared to accept the referee's decision, good, bad, or otherwise. And I've had some shockers in my career, let me tell you, and I've had some go my way as well. But I'd cop that because I just wanted the game to be played. But when we're complaining about decisions every week, this is what's going to happen. People are just going to forensically scrutinise everything to make sure that they're comfortable it's right. And even at the end of that, we're still not happy. The referee. You can't tell me that referees are in control of the game now. They're not. The control is outside of that. So, but that's the way the game's going. So you kind of have to accept that and just try and deal with it, to work with it. But it goes against everything I want to try in my team. I want my team to play fast, attacking, high tempo, go out at football. If we get a red card and it's a penalty against us, so what? Let's cop it. Let's go again. But then we have to stand around for 2 minutes to figure out whether something was offside or not. Let the linesman make a decision. Remember, it used to be the benefit of the doubt. Do we all remember that? To the striker. We all lived with it. The game didn't collapse.
Tough, and as I said earlier, we cannot blame Postecoglou for the things that he has said after Tottenham lost to Chelsea by 4-1 at White Hart Lane. You know what? Before we get to reactions, let's listen to Mauricio Pochettino. It was a fine return for him to White Hart Lane, but I'm sure he also shares some of the sentiment of Postecoglou. Let's listen to Mauricio Pochettino.
But that is the football that we want, or we want it, and we allowed to the technology to arrive, and now we cannot complain. I think we deserve to win. We forced them to make many mistakes. I think that Tottenham was better in the first 15 minutes, and then I think we matched the game, and I think our performance was good, and start to force to make the mistake and to play again the leader, in a really the best situation that you can. And this performance, I think, showed that we were really good and deserved the win, and nothing to say more than that. Now, I think after 4 years to have the possibility to come back and to say hello to all the staff and the people that we have the possibility to say goodbye, I think it's a gift for us.
So that's it. I don't think it shared the same sentiments as I echoed earlier. Kende Idris, but what a story. It was chaotic, it was crazy, mind-boggling, and raised so much questions. The video assistant referee, what a way to lose your beating run. 2 red cards, goals disallowed, and then Tottenham fell by 4-1 at home. It's really, really worrisome.
Austin, years ago, before the coming of VAR, one of the ways, or probably the only way, we forgive referees the fact that you can only see it in real time. It happens, it does not have the luxury of seeing it again. Now, not just VAR coming into place, there is also a screen just by the field for you to go and take another watch. Because while we're at home, something happens, then we'll be like, oh, the referee couldn't see it again, but we are seeing it again over and over again, and we're like, the referee's judgment is different or is wrong because we are seeing it again. Now, about 4 persons can help referees see it, and the referee still has the luxury of going to see it over and over again for himself. I think so many times he has to forgive them this time for situations like this. Tottenham, Wolves, Arsenal, too many question marks. And see, this might sound a bit of a cliche, or probably you felt personally pained, but it seemed like VR in England has more issues than everywhere else. Even the VR in Africa seems better than VR in England right now.
I can only laugh. I wish we had time, but unfortunately we don't. All right, let's listen to, Mikel Arteta. He doubled down on the comments that he made. Didn't apologize, didn't shift his position, didn't shift ground. To make matters worse, the club released a statement in support, and that's unprecedented. Most clubs would not get involved, and some have even accused the club of bringing the game into disrepute, that they shouldn't have done that. But let's listen to the Arsenal manager saying, look, it is my job to say the truth. I have no apologies for what I've said. Let's listen to it. We'll come back to wrap things up on the show.
The moment you have a chance in football, to put it to bed, do it. We're going to have to do a lot of things right tomorrow and then the right to win it against a really good team with enormous experience in this competition. And we have to prove it tomorrow in front of our people, how excited we are to play that game and what it means for us. It is my duty to stand in front of you, to stand in front of the cameras and give a very clear and honest assessment of what happens on the game. And this is what I did, reflect very openly how I felt that the team played and how the game was conditioned by these results with the decisions that were made. And it's the duty. My duty is to be defending my players, supporting my club, defending my people in the best possible way, and this is what I'm going to do time after time. I stand for the same words that mistakes are part of football in any other way, and we are here to constructively improve the game in everything that we can. And this is what we have been doing. As a club, me individual with my duty as a manager in the managers meeting to give our opinion, our voices, and to raise it in the most constructive ways to get a better game. That's all. That's the only thing that we are looking, I think, collectively to achieve everybody. That's it.
We've spoken.
We've not heard the last of this, and we don't have time, so we're not going to go. But we've not heard the last of it. It's not over. There's still so much to say. But Kehinde Idris, in 30 seconds, because we really don't have time, did he go overboard? Mikel Arteta.
I doubt if he did. Like Austin mentioned, unbeaten run stopped. You're losing
It's a disgrace. It's a shame.
You're losing 3 points to Newcastle. Last season, Arteta was apologized to in this same fixture against Newcastle. Yes, the referees came out after the game to say, well, sorry, the penalty Arsenal should have taken all 3 points. So if it happens again, then I think the feeling has gotten to this height, and he had to, just pour out. And I think the words used, I would have used those same words.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I'm waiting. But let me get to Austin quickly. I know you're going to tell us what's happening in the UEFA Champions League as we're wrapping it up. But does it look like the FA will do something to Arteta?
They'll caution him, and it's important they do, Yemi, because as I said earlier, these guys are role models, and you don't want to make the sort of statements that will, incite the fans or make some people think that they can just come out and then speak anyhow and put some misconduct out there. This is football, and the job of the FA is to regulate it. So they will definitely, Arteta will receive a special email from them. I don't know what will be contained in it now. Even Postecoglou, but do they have a right to say what they did, what they said? Yes, I think they do, because it just happened in very difficult circumstances and they had no choice. So let's wish them all the best. Let's get into the UEFA Champions League now. Quick results: Atletico Madrid and Celtic. Atletico Madrid leading by a single goal. That game is just about entering halftime. Lazio and Feyenoord is goalless. Borussia Dortmund defeated Newcastle by 2-0. And now that has dented the qualification hopes of the Magpies, because now they sit third on the log. The next game in that group is between AC Milan and Paris Saint-Germain. That game was explosive, Yemi. First 10 minutes, 2 goals. The visitors, PSG, open scoring. 2 minutes later, the host, AC Milan, came back into the game. It's 1-1 as we speak, and that puts AC Milan and it puts Borussia Dortmund and PSG on top of that table with 7 points. Newcastle is third. If AC Milan wins, Newcastle will drop to fourth. So that makes it very difficult. The game in Group G between Manchester City and Young Boys is Manchester City 1 and Young Boys 0. Erling Haaland, of course, you need to Haaland scored from the penalty spot to give Pep Guardiola's team. That's the update in the UEFA Champions League, and that's the show. In London, I'm Austin Okonak, and in everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
All right, many unresolved things to talk about, but we can't do that today. I want to say my bye-bye, but first I want to thank Kehinde Idris for his time on the show. Conversation never ends. We'll take it out.
It never ends.
All right.
We'll mind the kind of words we use out there.
Okay. That's the show today. We do hope you enjoyed everything we've been able to do. We'll do this again tomorrow. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.